Return the kick outside their 42. We'll call it the classical 43-yard line, where it will be 2nd and 10 as we're just underway. They give it straight ahead to the fullback, out to about the 43, maybe the 44, for a pickup of about a yard. Thomas gets it to the 44. It'll be 2nd and 9 for Classical. The give to Guy, he gets stuck in the backfield. Winthrop piled it up at the line of scrimmage, and the little inside reverse doesn't work. They lose back to the original line of scrimmage. They're back a yard. So it'll be 3rd and just about 10.
3rd down and 10. We're going to alternate the middle guys. Big John Silver and the big guy,
Timmy Phelps, the center, leads them out.
That Rogers is going to play some defense.
Castillo with the pitch to Faison, and Winthrop played good defense. They lose back to the 41, and Classical will have to kick it away. And they're going to give them forward progress back to the 43, so it's no gain. So it'll be 4th and 10. It takes a pretty good Classical bounce. Seaford downs it at the 25. There's a couple of flags out at midfield. We have to see what those are about.
They cut Freeman.
So let's see if Classical is going to, if it's during the kick, it'll be a penalty, move the ball back, and I believe that's what it's going to be. They refuse the penalty. It's going to be at the 25. The officials have a tough time explaining what's going on. He pointed to Classical and Winthrop. So Winthrop will have it at their own 25-yard line. And they're still trying to straighten it out as they talk to everybody. So it's going to be Winthrop's ball at their own 25-yard line, their first possession, as they shut Classical down.
Big John Silver and the big fat guy, number 78, Patrick Rogers.
And now I'm not sure they have it settled yet. They're still talking to everybody. They're trying to. Now, they're trying to explain it to Tony Fischillo as to what's going on. So now they're just about set. Winthrop now in motion. Adelstein carries the ball across the 25 to about the 28. That was Garino, excuse me, 28 with the carry. So he picks up 3. It'll be 2nd and 7 from the 28-yard line. They send the wide receiver to the near side. One running back as they have double wing set up for Winthrop. Now they go in motion. The long count. They go back in motion again. The pitch. And they got a good surge by the line, good second effort by the back, and they get a first down. Walsh with the carry. They get it out to the 37-yard line. A pickup of 9, they get a first down. So it'll be 1st and 10 at the 37-yard line. Motion again for Winthrop. A little reverse, and that's Bob Nealon getting good yardage on first down out to the 45. The little double reverse in the backfield. They had Classical's defense going one way. They reversed the ball, and Nealon had a good hole. Picks up 8. Second down and a short 2.
Second and 2. I tell you, this paper. She got Jim all over the paper.
The wide receiver this time goes to the far side. They set up the double wing, but they'll probably shift out of it. Motion. They almost had the quarterback. They throw the ball downfield off the fingertips of the receiver as the quarterback, Matt Emanuelson, was rushed.
Not in motion.
L'Achilles Bruton put a lot of pressure on the quarterback. So it'll bring up a third and a couple. Big third down play here for both teams. They send the wide receiver to the far side. He's covered one-on-one by Will Brogdon. And going no place. L'Achilles Bruton, Brendan Crichton, and Alex Falcon all make the stop. They lose back to the 43. So Winthrop will have to kick it away here as Chris Faison goes back deep for the Rams. Good defense that time by Classical. Faison, the lone man back. He ran a punt back for a touchdown last year against Winthrop. The line drive, it's going to take a bounce. And it takes actually a bounce for nobody. It just lays dead at the 25 or 26 yard line. They'll put it down at the 25. So it'll be first and 10 the Rams. They'll have it for the second time in the period. No score between the two undefeateds opening game for Classical. Winthrop has already won a game against Saugus in a shootout, 28-20. Classical, their first game in the Northeastern Conference. They have Seaford to the far side. Turning the corner is Brogdon. Brogdon gets bounced out of bounds as he picks up about 6 or 7 to about the 32. Will Brogdon carried the ball 4 times so far this year for 168 yards and 3 touchdowns. They give him all the way out to the 33. Second down and 2. Phelps, the center, leads them out as they send Seaforth now to the far side. That tight double wing setup with everybody else. They give to Guy, trying to turn the corner. He's got the first down and more as he's wiggled down at the 40, maybe the 41. Guy coming off a big 151-yard rushing game and 3 touchdowns along with a 2-point conversion. They actually give him, we'll call it the 40-yard line. The back part of the ball is touching the 40. So Guy picks up Classical's first down. They have it first and 10 at their own 40. And we've played just about halfway through the first period. No score here between Winthrop and Classical. Seaforth again to the far side as the wide receiver. They give it to the fullback. Good surge. Big hole open up, and that's Jonathan Hoffman. He's on the loose. They can't bring him down. They finally get an ankle and bring him down. Big Jonathan Hoffman rambling all the way into Winthrop territory. They broke it off the right side with the big hole. He cut it back left, and he just wouldn't go down. They finally brought him down at the 13-yard line. 47 yards on the play. And a first down as Seaford goes to the far side. That's going to be in motion against Classical. somebody got a little bit of a jump, so that's going to cost Classical 5. But big Jonathan Hoffman, they open up that line. The line did a big hole off that right side. And he did the rest as he just refused to go down. And he didn't look fast, but he just kept going. They couldn't knock him down.
Hey, they concentrated on the outside, so keep the middle open.
So it'll be 1st and 15 from the 18-yard line. 4:54 left now in the first period. Classical with a threat after that big run by Jonathan Hoffman. They started back at their own 25. They have 1st and 15 at the Winthrop 18-yard line. Seaforth to the far side. Castillo was the quarterback. The pitch to Brogdon. Cuts it up inside. Flag on the play, and that probably means holding. There's a second flag coming in. Let's see what that's all about. Holding against Classical. I don't know what the second penalty is for. You get down to the 12. They're only talking to Winthrop, so it's going to cost Classical some yardage.
They had a 47-yard run, but now they have a few costly mistakes.
They give it winds up to be a 9-yard penalty from the spot of the foul to the 27. So they have to get to the 3.
On, Michael.
So it's 1st and 24 as Seaforth goes to the far side. Guy turns the corner looking for a block. Gets inside the 20 to the 19. Actually, they give him to the 19. So he picked up 8. 8 big yards on the play as Guy used that speed to get around the corner. 2nd down and 16. The give to Hoffman again. Bouncing off the right side. It bounces off a couple of tackles in for the touchdown. This time he stayed right and bounced off a couple of people. That was a 3-cushion billiard. He bounced off 3 people and went in for the touchdown from 19 away. So they overcome the 2 big penalties. They go 75 yards for the touchdown. Hoffman doing most of the work on 2 big plays.
Senior fullback, 6'1", 245.
66 yards and 2 carries by Hoffman. And with just under 4 minutes left, Classical gets on the board and they'll go for 2. They give it to Guy. He's not going to get there. He wanted to go outside a little bit more. Winthrop shut it down. He had to cut it up inside, and the rush is no good.
The Link Classical Rams have struck quickly behind the stellar play.
75 yards in 5 plays. They overcome 2 penalties, 2 back-to-back penalties. And John Hoffman made it look easy as he went 47 yards to get him close. And then on 3rd and 16 from the 19-yard line, he bounced off a couple of people. The last time he went, he bounced it back to the left. This time he stayed right and walked in, standing up into the end zone. And Classical jumps on top, 6-0. So they keep their streak intact. They've jumped on top all 3 of their games. This time it took a little bit longer, but they managed to jump on top of undefeated Winthrop. And now Chris Faison will do the kicking off. So it'll be Chris Faison getting his foot into the football to get it started. Classical with an awful lot of weapons. You shut down one, Classical comes up with another one. The halfbacks have been running pretty well, but now they go to the fullback, and Jonathan Hoffman having a big first period. The line drive down at the 10-yard line. Nealon ran one back for a touchdown last week. He gets it out to the 33. Nealon gets it out to the 33-yard line for a 23-yard return. So it'll be 1st and 10 Winthrop. They'll have it for the second time here in the first period. They picked up a first down, then got shut down by the defense. Classical will try to do it again. The wide receiver comes to the near side. The sweep, they get a couple out to the 35. Well, it'll be 2nd down and 8 as Seaforth wrapped him up and knocked him down.
5 yards. 5.
3:20 and counting left to play in the first period as the wide receiver comes to the near side, covered by Brogdon.
Here it comes.
Now we got whistles, and that's going to cost Winthrop. The long count, the shifting, somebody jumped a little too early, so that's going to cost him 5.
You've got to try to control the football. You don't want to give him back.
So it'll be second, and 13.
You have to mount the drive here just to show them. Tell them to watch the screen. Let's not have mistakes and let's come up with a big play.
Emmanuelson is the quarterback. He brings them out.
You don't want them to catch on doing the football.
Now they flip-flop the tight end to the near side. Now they have motion. Nealon gets the pitch. He's not going to go anywhere. Now Nealon didn't get very far. He got out to the 33. So it'll be 3rd and 10. And let's see if they put it up. The wide receiver will come to the near side. They have actually 2 wide receivers to the near side. Nealon. The ball goes to the ground, and let's see who got it. Classical saying they have it, and they do. Jonathan Hoffman, who else? Jonathan Hoffman gets it done again as he recovers the fumble. He recovers back at the 28-yard line, we'll call it. So they lose 5 yards on the play, and Classical has good field position to start. Actually, their 3rd drive of this first period. Seaforth to the far side as a wide receiver. Straight ahead to Thomas, the fullback. They found a home off that right side. Thomas gets down to the 22. Picks up 6. It'll be 2nd down and 4 as they just keep bringing in those fresh running backs with 2 fullbacks and 3 running backs. Everybody stays fresh as Timmy Phelps leads them out. Seaforth is now to the near side. Motion by Classical to give again to the fullback. Thomas squeezes maybe inside. He got to the 20, maybe just inside. It'll be 3rd and a couple. The pass to Seaforth. Breaks a couple of tackles. Nice play by Castillo to Seaforth. They put that in a repertoire last week. They get down to the 12-yard line. 8 yards and a first down. So they'll have it at the 12, 1st and 10. They give to Guy. trying to turn the corner, looking for a block. Stays on his feet, goes in for the touchdown. Anthony Seaforth out front, screening the way, and JP Guy just was not going to go down. 16 seconds left, and that's a backbreaker in the first quarter. They take advantage of the turnover.
JP Guy just didn't want to go down. The line section of the speed was there. Maybe safe, Joe. When you give the ring, don't off the two like that. They got good two touchdowns. Very quickly to show big speed.
Once again, they'll go for two. Seaforth out to the far side. Faison goes in motion. They give it to Thomas, the fullback. He's going to come up shy.
They've done wrong so far, Joe. They've missed 2 extra points.
So we should have just about time for the kickoff, and we'll wind up ending this good first period by Classical as they've jumped on top 12-0, going 75 yards overland, and then coming down and recovering a fumble. Jonathan Hoffman getting it done, and then going 28 yards in 4 plays.
Joe, 28 yards, 4 plays. Hey, tell me to sprint that.
It'll be Faison again, kicking off to Winthrop. As Classical was stopped the first time, but they haven't been stopped the last 2 times. 75 yards and 28 yards. Hoffman leading the way in the first drive, and a big 3rd down conversion on a pass from Castillo to Seaforth, and then the 12-yard run by Guy. And Classical has opened up a 2-touchdown lead with just about enough time to kick off and end this first period. Nealon is the guy that Winthrop would like to have touch the football.
Come on, get out. Get out.
They kick it deep. Nealon dropped the football, still dropped the football. He's going to be down at about the 11-yard line. And Winthrop having trouble holding on to the football. Kyle Rucker down quickly to make the stop. And now Winthrop with their backs to the wall. And we will have time to run 1 play here to end the first period. At the 11-yard line, it will be 1st and 10. So we're having a little bit of difficulty getting the stakes straightened away, but they finally do. It looked like they were going to have to go 14 yards for a 1st down. So now we're set, and Winthrop will run a play and we'll end this first period. It's been a good one for Classical, putting 2 touchdowns on the board. Again, the double wing setup behind Emmanuelson. Now motion to give, and they're not going to go anywhere. They're going to get stuffed in the backfield. It's going to be awful hard to run on the outside against Classical with all that speed. They get out there too quick, and Winthrop is going to find that out. Awful hard to get to the outside. They lose back to about the 9. So we reached the end of the first quarter at the end of 1 period. Lynn Classical 12, Winthrop nothing. Second and almost 12, and they get a big hole, and there's a big hit. Anthony Seaforth with a big hit. They're shy of the 1st down. They get out to the 18-yard line. He picked up 9. They still need 3. 3rd down and a long 3. They're at the 18. They need to get to 21. Big play for Classical here. If they can stop Winthrop here, they should get good field position with any kind of a punt without a run back. Nealon looking to throw. Lets it fly downfield. He's got a man behind the defense. It's picked off. Anthony Seaforth with a big defensive play. He's a great wide receiver, and he showed it there as he just took it away from the Winthrop receiver. And Glasgow will have it at their 47. Anthony Seaforth getting it done. Made the big play on the pass from Castillo to get him a first down to keep the drive alive that ended in a touchdown. And now he makes the big over-the-shoulder interception. He looked like a wide receiver on the play. He just took it away from the Winthrop receiver. Classical has it at their 47. Castillo with the out. Seaforth looking to make a move to the outside. Seaforth is loose, trying to cut it back. He's on his feet. He's going to go for the touchdown. Great play by Anthony Seaforth. He started it and he ended it. Anthony Seaforth gets it done. He made the interception to get the play started. Now he makes the catch outside. He just kind of tippy-toed his way through the line of scrimmage, broke a tackle, cut it all the way back to the left side, and was gone. 53 yards and a touchdown, and Classical has scored 3 times. Seaforth flanked out. They almost had nobody covering him. They throw it back out to Seaforth, looking for the 2-point conversion. He walks in. 53 yards in one play.
As they come back to the field from being able to win, the Lynn Classical wins.
Classical has taken advantage of 2 turnovers and put 2 touchdowns on the board. And Anthony Seaforth made that great defensive play. He reacted to the football, became a wide receiver, took it away from the Winthrop wide receiver, made the interception, and then made the great couple of moves on the pass. Winthrop missing a few tackles. He bounced off a couple of people. They were tackling him high, and he just walked right through them. Broke it back to the left and walked in for the touchdown. And Classical has scored the last 3 times they've touched the football. Winthrop stopped him the first time, but they haven't stopped him since. And Winthrop only has 1 first down in the ball game so far. It's been all Classical here in the first period and the first minute or so of this second period. Long way to go in the ball game. It'll be Faison once again getting his foot into the ball. Drills it down at the 10-yard line. And he's hit and knocked down. Glasgow converging and not letting getting out the 30. That's good coverage by special teams. They get it out to only the 25-yard line. Kyle Rucker in on the play again, as special teams has been a big part of it. Along with the defense, the interception, the fumble, the turnovers by Winthrop has been a big story. And Winthrop will have it at their 25, 1st and 10 as they send the wide receiver to the near side.
Tell them to make sure they watch the pass, stay aggressive.
Nealon goes in motion. The give off not going to go too far as the middle of that Classical line just pushes him back. Virtually no gain on the play. They weren't able to run wide. Now they're trying to run straight ahead. They're not getting much of that either. Second and 10 from, we'll call it the 25. Nealon looking to throw, gets hit as he does. Are they going to give it to him? No, they call it incomplete. Anthony Seaforth ran the best route. He was wide open. They almost hit him with the pass. But it goes incomplete. He would have had a second pick. Instead, it's going to be 3rd and 10.
He's going to be pressured on this one, 3rd down and 10. Straight left.
Big play here for Classical again. If they shut them down, they should get decent field position on any kind of a punt without a run back. Any kind of a run back, they'll have great field position. The wide receiver goes to the far side. Double wing set up, now the motion to the near side. Nealon, they give it. They didn't get the first down. Now what do you do if you're Winthrop? They get out to the 34.
Hurry up, tell me to get off the field.
Well, those stakes look like they're 11 yards apart. The line of scrimmage was the 25. The stake is across the 25, but it's going to be a Winthrop punt with 8:16 and counting left.
Oh, no! Come on, you got blocked there, Tom.
I don't think that's a good call. Winthrop's going to get a first down out of this, but Anthony Seaforth got blocked into the kicker, and all the officials saw was Seaforth hitting the kicker, and that's going to cost Classical. Winthrop's going to get a first down. Seaforth got blocked and wound up getting blocked into the kicker. It's only a 5-yarder, but it's enough.
Tell them to keep their composure. Tell them to play with their pass. Keep their composure.
Only the second first down for Winthrop. This one coming by way of penalty. And it was Seaforth getting blocked into the kicker. So Winthrop gets the first down. Classical's defense has to go back to work. They're at the 39, the Winthrop 39. Nealon looking to throw the football. Dumps it out, and see you later with Chris Faison. They read that one nicely. David Durkes got greeted by Faison as they lose back to the 35. They lose 4 yards. So it'll be on the completed pass, it'll be 2nd and 14. 7:25 and counting. Classical on top, 20-0. Nobody behind Nealon now. Looking to turn the corner. There's Seaforth, and there's that speed, and there's a flag against Winthrop. Michael Tier couldn't get around the corner. Seaforth cut it down in a hurry. They get out only a couple of yards, 3 yards actually, at 38. They're still shy of the original line of scrimmage. It's holding against Winthrop. Classical may refuse it. It will bring up a 3rd down and very long. It is going to be declined as they get out to the 38-yard line. They picked up 3, but they still need 11, almost 12. Big 3rd down play here. Seaforth has been all over the field. Motion, Nealon to the far side. The ball goes to the ground, and that play was lost from the beginning. They get back to the 38-yard line for no gain, and Winthrop will have to kick it away.
Tell them go down here. Be aggressive. Don't stop. They dominated the game with a great size. JP's guy is
Get on the field.
Get off the field.
So Faison will go back deep as the lone man back. Winthrop gets the kick away. Faison has never seen a punt he doesn't want to return. He gets it across the 35 to the 36. So he put it at Classical's 36, where it will be 1st and 10 for the Rams. With 6:12 left to play in the first period, it's been all Classical. Winthrop with only 2 first downs, one of them off that penalty on roughing the kicker when Seaforth got actually blocked into the kicker. So Winthrop got a break, but they couldn't take advantage. The give to the fullback. And here's that fullback play as he carries a few people with him out to the 48. a 49-yard line. And the fullback doing an excellent job. That's Thomas with the carry. They put it down at the 48. Thomas picks up 12 and a first down. You worry about that speed going wide, and then they run the fullback at you and kill you going up inside. Now they run that double split, phase on to the near side, Seaford to the far side as they try to spread that defense out. The quick out to phase on over his head, incomplete.
He didn't have the handle.
They try to get it out to either Seaford, phase on, Guy, Brogdon. They get him out in the open field. They can be very tough. Joe Freeman will now be in the backfield as Glasgow's got a host of runners they can throw out there. Phase on comes to the near side, Seaford to the far side. Winthrop has to be worried about that speed. They step up, they throw it to phase on. He gets tackled from behind as he makes 4 or 5 into Winthrop territory. To the Winthrop 47. They pick up 5 on the play. It'll be 3rd and 5. Phelps again leads them out to center. Again, phase on to the far side, to the near side. Seaford to the far side. Dropping back. Seaford, they had to slough off Seaford. They had to give him some room. He's still on his feet. They can't bring him down. Seaford does the job. They gave him a huge cushion on that far side, worrying about he might break by him. He just hung up past the first down marker, easily made the first down.
Oh, there's one sitting right next to him.
And they get down to the 20, maybe inside the 20 at the 19. And the Winthrop player is down. And they're marking off a penalty against Winthrop besides. They give him down to the 19. The penalty will bring it down to the 9.
Yes.
Actually, it's down at the 8. So he made down to the 18-yard line on the pass play. The penalty down to the 8 gives them another first down after Seaford picked up a first down. And now from the 8, it will be 1st and goal. And Glasgow with a chance to put a lot of daylight between them and Winthrop. They gave the defensive back, stayed off Seaforth a good 10 or 15 yards, not wanting to get behind him. Seaforth just pulled it up beyond the first down marker and then broke a couple of tackles and almost went in for his second score. Again, they set up wide receivers right and left. Thomas is the fullback. They give it to Brogdon. Brogdon is going to be just shy down the 1-yard line. Now they mark it down at the, looks like the 2. So he pick up 6 on the play. It'll be 2nd and goal from the 2. The ball went to the ground. Let's see who has it. Look. So they lose back to the 3. So the ball's at the 3-yard line. 3rd and goal from the 3. Double wide receivers right and left. They had him and they couldn't hold on to him. JP Guy bounced off a couple of people into the end zone.
No, no, no.
64 yards in 7 plays. As Claskell's making it look easy, scoring the last 4 times. Winthrop held them the first time 3 and out, but since then it's been 4 for 4 for the Claskell offense, helped along by the defense with 2 big turnovers. And JoJo Castillo with the quarterback sneak walks in for the 2-point conversion. So you got to remember, this is a Winthrop team that is 2-0 that beat a good Saugus team last week in a shootout. And Claskell is making it look awful easy, using a host of running backs, letting Castillo throw the ball a little bit more, as they showed that a little bit last week. And Claskell really going to almost everything in the playbook. And but the defense certainly has been a big story as well, as Winthrop has been held to 1 first down that they earned. The other one was a questionable call against Seaforth running into the punter when he was blocked into him. Once again, it'll be Chris Faison kicking off. Claskell, you would not have thought of it, but they get almost 100 yards passing the football. 53 of those coming on the touchdown play. Fielded at the 14-yard line. Down the sideline and gets bumped out of bounds at about the 35. We'll see where they spot the football. So they'll put it right down at the 35 is where they'll put it, and Winthrop will have it 1st and 10. And they've tried to go the air, and that hasn't worked. They only have 3:18 left here in the first half, as they send their wide receiver to the near side, covered by J.P. Guy. Emmanuelson is the quarterback. He's dropping back, looking to throw over the middle. Nice play again by Seaforth, the center fielder. He timed it perfect. He watched the quarterback. They broke it underneath. The receiver thought he was wide open, and here comes Anthony Seaforth with another big play. Anthony having a great first half, both defensively and offensively. And I think everybody in the Winthrop side thought Winthrop had a completion, but Seaforth just closed quickly to the football and broke it up. It'll be 2nd down and 10 from the 35. Everybody now in tight as they send motion. They hand off, and there's Falcon holding him up and pushing him back as they get to the line of scrimmage and no more. Third and 10. The second play from scrimmage, Winthrop made a first down, a 9-yard run. They haven't done it since. They got 8 on their next play, but they came up shy of a first down. And they haven't been very close since. Nealon goes in motion to the far side. Emmanuelson dropping back. Some pressure, and he's ripped, and they just get a piece of his shirt and just rip him down. That's Crichton, I believe. Brendan Crichton making the play as they lose back to the 27. So they lose 8 yards, and they'll have to kick it away. And they'll kick it to Chris Faison. 2 minutes. They're going to give the 2-minute warning, I believe, to both benches. Donnie January coming over and telling the Claskell sideline, 2 minutes left. And once again, Winthrop will punt. 4th straight time they've had to punt. They get it up. Faison's going to have to watch this one bounce. It takes a good Winthrop bounce He'll die down at the classical 35-yard line. Those guys up front, Tim Phelps, Kevin Crichton, Jonathan Brown, James Bransfield, Mike White, and Brendan Crichton doing a great job opening up holes for these backs. The offensive line starting to come together. Some new faces there, some old faces as well. This is Will Brogdon battling his way to the 40-yard line. He picks up about 5.
So what about this? You know, I was going to stop the Cowboys from the way. I didn't have enough time. The power was low enough.
Second down and 5 from the 40-yard line. The clock is running with 1:20 and counting to play in a huge first half for Classical and Jonathan Hoffman and Anthony Seaforth. Seaforth goes out to the far side. They give it to Brogdon again. He gets to about the 43. They actually give him to the 44. So it'll be 3rd and a yard. So 3rd down and a yard from the 44-yard line. As Classical is content to let the clock run. Seaforth comes out to the near side. And for a minute, there was nobody covering Seaforth again. J.P. Guy gets the first down. That'll stop the clock momentarily. At the 47 with 32 ticks left on the clock here in the first half. Now the clock starts to run again. So we might be coming up to the last play here in the first half. Seaforth, actually he's not coming to the far side. He's near side. He's coming off the field. Everybody in tight for Classical. The little reverse to Brogdon. Brogdon staying on his feet. They'll stop the clock for the first down. Gets to the 42-yard line. 11 more on a first down. Actually, the 41-yard line, he picked up 12 yards. And they don't get the play off. That's going to be the end. And Winthrop has got some catching up to do here in the football game. They got to come up with a plan to try and stop this high-powered offense and try to get their offense working. They trail 28-0 at halftime.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Welcome back as we're set to start the second half. A big half for Classical. 249 yards of offense for Classical, 25 for Winthrop. 29 yards rushing, 1 completion for -4 yards for Winthrop. 2 first downs, 1 by penalty, and a total domination by the green and the gold of Classical in this opening for them in the Northeastern Conference. Classical will kick off. 154 yards rushing, 95 yards passing for Jojo Castillo. That kick bounces around and it's going to go out of bounds. And let's see if they have him kick it again. They have the option, I think, of taking it either the 30 or the 35. Winthrop is saying their play is out there, so I don't think they're going to have Classical kick it again. To show you how they moved it around and let everybody get involved. Will Brogdon had 35 yards. Thomas had 21. Guy had 27. Hoffman had 56 on 2 carries. Castillo was 5 for 6 for 95 yards and a touchdown. And Anthony Seaforth had 3 catches for 90 yards and a touchdown. And they are going to have him kick it again.
That's the only thing that they were able to bring up the lead. I was saying, because I enjoy playing with lost positivity.
You don't have to play them every year. You don't have the small and the large schools that they do with the big tournament.
With the second kickoff, they don't gain that much. They get it out to the 33-yard line.
Ball on their own 33-yard line, first and 10.
From the 33-yard line, it will be first and 10 for Winthrop. No flag on the play. Everybody moved. The quarterback, Emmanuelson, wind up with the football, and they lose back. We'll call it the 25. So you lose 8. It'll be second down and 18. They run straight ahead. They get nothing on the play. So no gain in the play. It's going to be 3rd and 18. The little reverse is going to go nowhere. McKilly's Bruton, Tim Phelps, Crichton, Hoffman, all there as they lose back to the 22. They only had 29 yards rushing in the first half. They lost 11 here in their first possession. Faison collects at the 48-yard line. He's going to block her out in front. He cuts it back. 52 yards for the touchdown. Faison did it last year against Winthrop. Ran a punt back for a touchdown. He does it again this year. So the beat goes on for the Rams. The 52-yard punt return by Chris Faison. They go for 2 when they come up shy. And Classical has opened up 34-0. So it'll be Classical once again kicking off. Faison accepted it at his 48-yard line. And I think everybody thought the one player down was going to make a hit. He didn't. There was a wall set up to the near side. He went down. He had a blocker out in front of him. He didn't need him. He cut it back to the middle and waltzed in for the touchdown 52 yards later. And Classical has built it up. They've scored 5 of the last 6 times they've touched the football. And they've turned this game into a rout. The short kick bounces around at the 20-yard line. And there's the speed again. L'Achilles Bruton with a great open field tackle. L'Achilles just flew to the football. And they don't get out to the 25-yard line. We look like he might get a lot more. And there's that overall team speed. We'll call it the 25. The ball's across the 24, almost touching the 25, so we'll call it the 25. But Winthrop having a tough time getting anything going. They've had no luck running it, no luck throwing it, and now they've had poor luck kicking it. And so everything's coming up roses as far as the green and gold are concerned. Winthrop with only 18 yards rushing so far in the ball game, minus 4 yards passing, 14 yards of offense, and it's not going to get any better here. They're going to lose yardage again. They lose to the 22 as Falcon makes the play. They lose 3 more. They've run 4 plays here in the second half. The best they've done is 0 yardage. The other 3 have been minus yardage. Emmanuelson's not going to get it off. He loses the football. The hit by Falcon. Crichton forced them up. Falcon made him cough it up. And Hoffman came up with the recovery, I believe. Timmy Phelps came up with the football at the 17-yard line. They lose 5 more yards on the play. They give to Faison. He gets stuffed at about the 16. Winthrop with 6 yards of offense. And we have 6:50 to play in the 3rd period. Classical trying to take advantage of yet another turnover. They've taken advantage of the first 2 they got. A fumble recovery and an interception. The ball goes to the ground. Castillo picks it up and makes a positive out of a negative as he gets down to about the 15-yard line, maybe the 14. The ball at the 15.
Walking encyclopedia. Between the 2 of them, Anthony Lefty and Big Burley, you can name any player to play in the
It'll be 3rd and 7. Guy breaks a couple of tackles, stays on his feet. He's down shy of the first down. He's inside the 10 at the 9. So they need a couple. 4th and a couple. They have to get to the 7-yard line. They're at the 9. The pitch, they've got the first down. That was like student body right. Jonathan Zemagidis Brown leading the play as they get to the 6.
Broken 71. You know what I mean? They're not as tight as they were in the 71 to start the game.
They needed 2, they got 3, so it'll be first and goal from the 6. Seaforth flanked out to the near side. Motion.
Ball, football.
Winthrop wound up with the football. They almost ran it back. David Durkers picked the football up in the air. So Glasgow gets turned aside on their first turnover of the ball game, out at the 13-yard line. We watched the Glasgow machine put over 480 yards of offense last week, over 400 yards rushing. So we knew they could score. We didn't know it was going to be this easy against a good Winthrop team. Motion to the far side. The little delay, knocked down at the 15-yard line. Seaforth made the first hit. So it'll be second down and 8 from the 15-yard line. Motion again. And they get devoured by most. Tim Phelps. Getting up off the bottom of the pile is L'Achilles Bruton. They lose back inside the 15 at the 13. So they haven't had positive yardage yet. They got the 2 yards, they gave it back. Winthrop was still only 6 yards of offense, and they got to do something here. Our class was going to get great field position. Looking to throw. Bouncing in front of a classical defender, J.P. Guy, and Winthrop will have to kick it off. They'll have to kick it away, and Glasgow could get great field position here without a run back. Faison, who just ran the last punt back for a touchdown, will go back deep. This time he's standing inside the 50-yard line in Winthrop territory. And they'll be kicking from the shadow of their own goalpost. They'll get it off from right around the 5-yard line. The snap is high. They handle it and get it away. Faison's going to have to let it go. He wanted to go get it, but he couldn't. Winthrop does a pretty good job, all things considered. They get it into classical territory. And they'll put it down at the 48-yard line. So Classical will have it first and 10 at their own 48-yard line. The give to the fullback. Right straight ahead. Thomas is going to take it home to the bank. Classical scored 2 52-yard touchdowns here in the second half. One a punt return. This one, Thomas going 52 yards. $73 yards of rushing for Thomas. And looking for the 2-point conversion. And that's
So he makes, excuse me, Joe,
Castillo, I believe, rushing it in.
this third period, the main goal is win. The diamond.
The sneak gets it in for 2. So the score jumps to 42-0 in favor of the Rams, as it will be Faison once again kicking off for Classical with 3 minutes left to play here in the period, and a Winthrop team that's been held to only 6 yards of offense through almost 3 periods, with a very stubborn Classical defense, a very quick Classical defense.
Hey, tell him to look up there.
And it's been everybody, the halfbacks, the fullbacks. The first drive was Hoffman, the fullback. This time it's Thomas, the fullback. Guy, Brogdon, Faison, running, returning punts. Castillo hooking up with Seaforth for touchdowns. They've used just about everything in their arsenal. And they put 42 points on the board.
Hey, tell him we got a couple teams over the years, Joe. This team has everything. And more so, as you pointed out, you could have dynamic backs where they're doing
The kick down the middle. Nealon at the 19-yard line. Looking for the sideline. He gets gang tackled at the 32-yard line. Freeman, Rodriguez, and Thomas all in on the stop. So Winthrop will put it in play at the 32-yard line, and I don't know what you do if you're Tony Fucillo. He's tried everything. Reverses, draws, throwing the ball, and they just haven't been able to penetrate the defense. They made 1 first down in the second play of the ball game. The only other first down was a roughing the kicker called against Anthony Seaforth. And it's been all Classical. Motion to the far side, the little delay. And not going to go too far. L'Achilles, Bruton, Falcon, Alex Falcon. They gained maybe a foot. They're going to give him. They moved just outside the 32, so we'll call it no gain. And they still do not have any positive yardage here in the second half, with the third period winding down. 2:20 and counting as they send the wide receiver to the near side. Emanuelson dropping back, looking to throw. He's got some time, lets it fly, looking for a man deep. Seaforth off his fingertips. Seaforth was the nearest one to the football, almost had his second pick. It'll be 3rd and 10. The incompleted pass gave him a yard gain. The ball was at the 42. It's now at the 43. It's the first positive yardage they have in the second half. So it's actually 3rd and 9, even though it was an incompleted pass. Emanuelson has got some time. Looking over the middle, picked off. Seaforth again. He runs into his own man and dives forward to the 35. Anthony Seaforth, playing center field, just waited and then took off and ran to the football and picked it off. His second pick. Classical will get great field position at the 36, and we'll have the backups for Classical coming out. Rucker will be the quarterback. They give it to the fullback, and he's going to get decent yardage to about the 32 or 33. That was Rodriguez, I think. Call it the 33. A pickup of 3 as we're winding down this, the third period. They give again to the fullback. He gets into the secondary. Lost the football. They stripped it from him, and they'll get to the 24, but Winthrop is going to pick up the football as they took it away from Rodriguez.
Winthrop recovers. It'll be first.
Jonathan Cadigan came up with the recovery.
Let's get a touchdown. Let's get some points on the board. Let's not come out of here with a shut.
So at the Winthrop 24-yard line is where the Vikings will have it with 1:20 left to play in the third period. And the backup's in. Now we got a flag on the play. Classical had 12 players in the huddle, I believe. They broke the defensive huddle. Classical had 12 players. They sent them off the field, and that's going to cost Classical 5.
It's your best play.
So it'll be 1st and 5. They actually gave him almost a 6-yard penalty. The ball's almost to the 30. Durkis bounces off a couple of people. Rucker gets a shot at him. They get their first down. Stillwell also in on the stop as they get to the 34-yard line. They pick up 5 and a first down. Their first down since the second play back in the first period on their first possession. They cut it back up inside. Looking to go downfield. Nealon makes a move, shifts, gets by a couple of people and gets down inside the 15. Freeman finally ran him down as he got to the 12. That puts Winthrop in the plus yardage, but they're doing it against the backups. The game long ago decided, although Winthrop still has their first unit out there. Back-to-back first downs, and now they get stood up at about the 10-yard line. Freeman getting up off the bottom of the stack. Along with Gerardo Pergiusti getting into the stop. They get to the 10, and that's going to be the end of the third period. So at the end of 3 periods, Classical pitching a shutout. Classical 42, Winthrop nothing. As we start the 4th and final quarter, 11 minutes of play left, but it's just playing out the string here as far as Winthrop and Classical is concerned. Winthrop called off the dogs. They now have their backups. They're playing as many plays as they can. Winthrop trying to get on the board. They have it 1st and 10 from the 12. Cutting it to the outside. They're going to go in for the touchdown. So Nealon runs it in for the score. So Winthrop doing it against the bench.
We would call him right now, Joe, the leading scorer in these concerts. He does have 4 touchdowns. He plays 2 junior.
Guy's got 5.
Should we call him the leading scorer in all these concerts?
They take advantage of the fumble. They go 24 yards in 3 plays. Excuse me, they go 76 yards.
10:52 remaining in this football game. The Rams are quarterback, the Vikings at 6.
The big run by Bob Nealon of 54 yards. He runs it in from 12 yards away, and Winthrop gets on the board. Classical's shutout is taken away. The first string of Classical went over 300 yards of offense.
Junior Jet, that's 14.
So they'll look for the 1 point if they can get enough people out there.
Come on, Michael.
Now they're set. The kick is partially blocked.
The kick by Jimmy Logan is no good.
Perjusti got a piece of it.
The Rams are 42 on the right side.
The scoreboard is the story. It was 42-0 with the first teams on the field. Classical had 400 yards of offense. The Vikings had 6. 10 yards rushing, -4 yards passing against the first team defense. And that was the story as they ran up 42 consecutive points. Winthrop has scored, and now Matt Durgan doing the gentlemanly thing, putting as many fresh players as he can on the field. Joe Freeman will go back deep. Kyle Rucker will also go back deep. Rucker and Freeman to the far and near side. Winthrop, Glasgow's moving up to the football. I think Winthrop might try something here, even though there's 10:52 left. See if Winthrop maybe tries to go out of the huddle quickly and with an onside kick. James Logan gets his foot in it, line drives it. Rucker had it bounce off him out of bounds. And the ball will be at the 22-yard line. So Glasgow will put it in play at their 22. Again, we want to pay tribute to those guys up front doing the job for Glasgow. Tim Phelps, Kevin and Brendan Crichton, both. Jonathan, Zamagitis, Brown, James Bransfield, Mike White doing an outstanding job. Tim Phelps opening up those holes and making it easy for Glasgow to get that 400 yards of offense, and that defense doing an outstanding job. Achilles Bruton and Anthony Seaforth had a big game. The reverse, Freeman gets back to the line of scrimmage. He won't go down. They finally blow the whistle and get him down. They give him to the 23. Second and 9. They give to the fullback ahead to about the 25. And it's Rodriguez, I believe. They give him right to the 25 for a pickup of a couple. It'll be 3rd and 7. So 3rd and 7 from the 25. The pitch to Stillwell. Stays on his feet, gets 5, but he's going to come up shy of the first down. He'll come up 2 yards shy. It'll be 4th down, and Glasgow will have to kick it away. Only the second time they're going to have to punt. They punted the first time on the first series. They were 3 and out.
36 touchdown passes in his career with the Vikings. Went on to play with Henry Collins. You know who the athletic is.
So Glasgow will kick it away. And Winthrop will get it back with 8:49 left in the ball game.
Keep your eye on the 10. We don't leave it.
The snap is good. The kick is high and short. They let it bounce. They're going to throw a flag, and I don't know why. He didn't call a fair catch. He got away from the football. They're going to call Classical for interference, I believe, and not letting him catch it. But he didn't give the fair catch sign, and he stepped away from the football. But they're going to call it against Classical, I believe. He made no attempt to catch the ball, but they're going to call him for not giving him room to catch it. The officials may be trying to help out here. It's going to cost Classical some yardage. They'll have it. Winthrop will at the Classical 47-yard line. 1st and 10 for the Vikings. I'm going to go out on a limb and say Classical's going to be 1-0 in the Northeastern Conference with 8:27 left. This is Nealon again. Cuts it back, and he's going to go again.
Put him on, kid. Put him on, baby. That's the clear.
Nealon going for the touchdown.
That is the all the way. His second touchdown, he is the leading scorer in the Northeastern.
Nealon getting 2 touchdowns against the bench from Classical. Winthrop has left their first unit on the field, and I don't know why.
Well, I know the joy after you win this game, the Nealon and Grosso family, they are #1.
I hope they don't get anybody hurt. With 8:14 left, trailing 42-0. It's nice they can get his stats up there, but if he gets hurt and can't play the rest of the year, I'm sure there's some kids in the sidelines who put a lot of time into practice that would like to get in the football game. It took the one play to go 47 yards. Winthrop only had 6 yards of offense through 3 periods. They've added over 100 yards here in the 4th quarter against the bench of Classical. Now they go for 2, and they dump it off. It won't be any good. It's incomplete.
They come back up the field from gaining goal to win. Only Classical wins 42 Vikings 12, and it has been a Bobby Newman show. We needed those 2 touchdowns, Joe. We didn't come from last year. You got to take touches. Look at the team. They have to give up the fun still. You don't even know what.
So Classical has long ago called off the dogs and gone deep into their bench. Almost everybody in the sidelines has played here in the 4th quarter for Classical. And Winthrop has finally put it together. Rucker will go back deep along with Freeman. And I think it's Kari Wells in the middle. I could be wrong. We'll find out if he gets the football. Winthrop will kick off with 8:14 still left to play here in the 4th quarter. Winthrop has scored the last 2 times they had the football. They recovered a fumble at their 24, went 76 yards in 3 plays. And then the punt and the subsequent penalty put it at the Classical 47. Nealon went right, cut it back left. He's got very good speed. He outran the secondary for a touchdown. And it's 42-12 as Winthrop will get set to kick off once again. And now we get a whistle. I'm not sure what for. The high kick. Field did a nice job. Rucker did a nice job. The quarterback, the backup quarterback, became a center fielder and made a shoestring catch. And at the Classical 38-yard line is where Classical will put it in play.
Get the ball back and score another touchdown. That would be very, very good. But one thing
Just over 8 minutes left in the football game. The pitch, they cut it up inside. Good yardage on first down.
number of tackles tonight. Get him around the ankles and walk over the high hips out. Played well here.
James Castrello gets out to the 43. Second down for the Rams. The pitch again, this is Stillwell. He gets good yardage across the 45. Out to the 48-yard line. Third and a yard with everybody in tight. The pitch again, Castrello gets in the secondary and gets good yardage to the Winthrop 45. Classical with a first down as they do what they want to do, run the clock, keep the clock running. Use an awful lot of players. They've used just about everybody here in the fourth quarter. The reverse to Freeman. One step away from breaking it. Joe almost broke it. He gets good yardage on first down, out to the 37. A pickup of 8. It'll be second down and 2. And the most important thing of all, the clock is running. The backups getting a lot of work here for Classical in this fourth quarter. The pitch to Castrello. He gets good surge. He gets close to the 30-yard line, and another Classical first down. The future of Classical football out on the field now, getting a lot of playing time after that big lead put up by the first string. Getting a lot of playing time here. They got a host of running backs to go to. The pitch, this is Stillwell off the right side. Good yardage by Billy Stillwell. Down to about the 15-yard line. So Classical on the move again with the backups. Down to the 9-yard line. 21 yards and a first down by Stillwell. First and goal from the 9. The pitch down. Walking in is James Castrello. So the backups answer back for Classical. Methodically, they go 61 yards in 6 plays with Stillwell, Castrello, Freeman doing the carrying, and Classical has put 48 in the board. If they get a 2-point conversion, they'll go past the 49 they scored last week against Belmont. And they're going to do it as Rucker just walks in behind a host to that center of the line. 5:29 left. Classical has put 50 on the board. And they did it with the backups playing most of the second half. The story of this game, the offense most assuredly, but the defense of Classical through 3 periods, Winthrop with 10 yards rushing, minus 4 yards passing for a total of 6 yards of offense against the Classical's first string defense. Matt Durgan called off the Dogs in the fourth quarter, and Winthrop was able to put 2 touchdowns on the board, but the backups for Classical come right back and get one themselves. Through those 3 periods, Classical had an even 400 yards of offense, 305 yards rushing, 95 yards passing. After holding them on the first possession, they scored 4 straight times. The clock ran out on them on their 5th possession, but they scored the first 2 times in the second half. And for all intents and purposes, the route was on. So Winthrop will take over, and I start to see some fresh uniforms for Winthrop as well. Out to the 43-yard line. As Classical has been impressive here. All the high school coaches in the Northeast Conference probably here scouting. They've seen quite a bit, both defensively and offensively. From the 43-yard line, 1st and 10. They get to the 45, and that's Nicholas Spinelli. Ford in on the tackle. Joe Ford. They get to the 44. They get a yard. It'll be 2nd down and 9. This is Spinelli again. Gets down right about to midfield.
Stop made by Gerardo Hughes and number 87, Jesse Wallace. Also by number 50, Josh Green.
They put it down at midfield. They pick up 6. It'll be 3rd and about 3. And when they snap the ball, there'll be under 4 minutes left to play in the football game.
There is no, excuse me, question of football. Most of these players play in the JV.
Classical jumped. They didn't make contact. I don't see any flag. They're going to lose yardage. As there's under 4 minutes left. They put it now. They are going to march it off. The flag was on the other side. So that'll give Winthrop a 1st down. Until the 4th quarter, Winthrop only had 2 first downs, 1 by penalty. They picked up 5 here in the 4th quarter. As Matt Durgan, ever the gentleman, called off the horses. The ball is loose, and let's see who got it. You don't want to be at the bottom of that pile. Winthrop got it back at the 41. Under 3 minutes to play in the football game. Long ago decided by the Rams after a big first half. And total domination by Classical both offensively and defensively. And hit at the line of scrimmage, and he falls forward for a yard, maybe 2, to the 39. They give him to the 39 for a couple. We'll see if they get the playoff before the 2-minute warning. And they should. DeGear trying to go around the right side. He's not going to get the 1st down. Andy Lopez wrapped him up. James Vosey also in on the stop as they get to the 35. We'll get the 2-minute warning. It'll be 4th and a yard for Winthrop with 2 minutes left.
We'll have it at Miller Field. Thursday night, next Tuesday,
4th and 1 for Winthrop on the Lynn Classical 35.
From the 35-yard line. They make the first down. And it'll stop momentarily as they get to about the 30-yard line. They mark it at the 30. So they start the clock with 1:45 and counting. Classical got it done. They went 75 yards in 5 plays with their first possession. Hoffman going 47 and then going 19 for the touchdown. It was 6-0. Hoffman came right back and recovered a fumble at the Winthrop 28. It took them 4 plays to score. A big third down play. Castillo to Seaforth picked up the first down. And then J.P. Guy went the final 12 yards for the touchdown. It was 12-0. Anthony Seaforth made a big defensive play with a great interception at the Classical 47. On the first play, Castillo to Seaforth, he broke a couple of tackles. 53 yards later, he was in the end zone. The same combination, Castillo to Seaforth, made it 20-0. After Winthrop was forced to punt, Classical went 64 yards in 7 plays. It was Guy picking up his second touchdown from 3 yards away. Castillo rushed in the 2-point conversion. It was 28-0 at halftime as they scored 4 straight times with the football. They come out in the second half. They held Winthrop on downs. Winthrop kicked it away. It was Chris Faison going 52 yards for the touchdown to make it 34-0. After a couple of fumbles were exchanged, Winthrop had a punt again. Classical took over at their 48-yard line. They handed off to Gary Thomas. He went straight up the middle, 52 yards for the touchdown. Castillo again ran in the conversion. It was 42-0. Nealon added 2 touchdowns in the 4th quarter to make it 42-12. And then it was the Classical backups, Kyle Rucker doing the job running the offense with Stillwell and Castrello and Freeman doing the running and the line doing a nice job up front. They went 61 yards in 6 plays. Castrello went the final 9 for the touchdown to make it 48-12. Kyle Rucker behind that line just walked in on the quarterback sneak, and Classical had their 50 points. And we'll see one more play in the football game as Classical is going to go 3-0. Winthrop will drop to 1-1 in the conference. Classical will go 1-0 in the Northeastern Conference. As they throw the quick out, it's caught. Now they went out of bounds, so they'll have a chance to run one more play. But through 3 periods, it was total domination by Lynn Classical. Classical had 305 yards rushing, 95 yards passing, for an even 400 yards through 3 periods. Winthrop, on the other hand, had 10 yards rushing, 1 pass completion for -4 yards. It was 400 yards of offense for Classical, 6 yards of offense for Winthrop, and the defense was unbelievable for Lynn Classical. Jojo Castillo did an excellent job once again running the offense. Faison with the punt return. Seaforth had a great game on both sides of the football, but the defense for Classical did an outstanding job, and Winthrop couldn't run outside, they couldn't run inside, they couldn't pass the ball, and when they kicked the ball, they got in trouble as well. So in all facets of the game, Classical just totally dominated the Winthrop Vikings. It was J.P. Guy leading the way with 2 touchdowns, but Classical with 400 yards of offense through 3 periods, Winthrop with only 6. And Matt Durgan called off the dogs, and Winthrop was able to score 2 touchdowns in the 4th quarter, although the subs for Classical put one back up with Castrello going 12 yards to get them over the 50-point mark. So Classical certainly let everybody in the conference know that they are to be reckoned with. The polls don't mean much. You still have to play the games, but anybody who scouted them here tonight certainly came away impressed as they totally dominated the Winthrop Vikings in all facets of the game, as we mentioned before, holding it to only 6 yards of offense through 3 periods. A tip of the hat to Matt Durgan and the Classical Rams, and then it's on to next week to their 2nd game in the Northeastern Conference as they take them one at a time. The final score, Classical 50, Winthrop 12. We'll see you next time on Channel 15.